A vicious dog attack leaves a tiny dog fighting for its life with over $3,000 in vet bills. And a bounce house mysteriously vanishes into thin air, leaving a rental business owner demanding nearly $5,000. Two completely different cases. Two people who swear they're right. And one judge who's about to destroy both their excuses. Welcome to Justice and Verdict. Let's dive in. Our first case starts on what should have been a routine evening walk. Ryan Russell is moving out of his neighborhood. It's his last night. Around 9 p.m., he takes his two Maltipoos for their usual stroll around the block. Just a normal walk, nothing unusual. But then he turns the corner, and that's when everything goes wrong. Standing in front of a neighbor's house are two people with two large dogs, German shepherds. And the moment the dogs see each other, they start barking. Ryan knows this could get ugly fast, so he does what any responsible dog owner would do. He crosses into the street to avoid confrontation. Smart move, right? Wrong, because what happens next is every pet owner's worst nightmare. Let's hear how this played out in Judge Judy's courtroom.
Mr. Russell, it is your claim that the defendant's dog attacked yours. There were some serious vet bills, which is primarily, I assume, what you're suing for.
Correct, Your Honor.
Is that right? Do you live in the same area where the defendant lives?
I did. Actually, at the time, I was moving out. It was going to be my last day at that current resident.
And you were walking your dogs?
Correct. It was
You
about
have
9...
two?
I do have two dogs, yes.
Two
Maltipoos.
So Ryan grabs his chart and walks Judge Judy through exactly what happened. He's leaving his house. He rounds the corner. He sees the defendant, Priscilla Gordon, and a young man with two big dogs. All four dogs are on leashes. Everything seems under control. But then Ryan notices the dogs are barking at each other, getting aggressive, so he makes a split-second decision.
And so when I saw the dogs started to bark at each other, I started to walk into the street to avoid further confrontation.
So show me where you walked.
Yeah, the sidewalk ends here at their driveway, so I started to walk into the street. And when we finally crossed paths, one of the defendant's dogs got loose and started attacking my dog in the middle of the street here.
One of the defendant's dogs got loose, and it went straight for Ryan's Maltipoo. But here's where it gets interesting. Judge Judy isn't buying Ryan's version. Not yet. She wants to hear from the person who was actually holding the dog. One of the defendant's dogs got loose, and it went straight for Ryan's Maltipoo. But here's where it gets interesting. Judge Judy isn't buying Ryan's version. Not yet. She wants to hear from the person who was actually holding the dog. Enter Josh Gordon, young kid, holding a German Shepherd mix on what he describes as some cheap leash, and Judge Judy immediately zeroes in on him.
Who was holding the dog that got loose?
I was, Your Honor.
Stand up. Move over. Tell me your name.
Josh Gordon.
Josh, what kind of a dog were you holding?
It's a German Shepherd mix.
How old?
3, 4 years old.
What kind of a leash were you holding?
Just like some cheap one, like.
You've walked that dog, I assume, many times before.
Yes.
How come you lost the leash that day?
It backed up as I was holding it. Like I was holding it really tight, and right when I was pulling back, it backed out of the collar.
The dog backed out of the collar. That's his story. Now, Judge Judy's been doing this for decades. She knows when something doesn't add up. So she makes Josh walk over to the chart and show her exactly where this happened. And that's when his story starts to fall apart.
Like barking.
Now I'd like you to go over there and show me when you lost control of your dog. Show me where in the street the dogs met.
It wasn't actually in the street.
Where was it?
Like right here.
That is not correct, Your Honor. I was...
Just a sec. It was right where?
There.
On the grass?
Yes.
And where were you when you lost control of the dog?
Let that sink in for a second. Josh was on the porch. The attack happened on the grass. That means the dog pulled so hard, it slipped out of its collar, ran off the porch, across the yard, and attacked Ryan's tiny Maltipoo. This wasn't an accident. This was a dog out of control. Judge Judy turns to Priscilla, the dog's owner, and what comes next is absolutely devastating.
Were you there?
Yes.
What happened when the dog got out of its collar?
It ran after Mr. Russell's dog.
And what did it do to his dog?
It bit him.
How did it bite him?
Bit him all over.
Bit him all over. But Priscilla isn't done. She continues.
When the incident happened, I handed my other dog to my son by the leash, and I ran after my dog as it was biting Mr. Russell's dog. I think there were 4 to 6 puncture wounds to the dog's abdomen area.
4 to 6 puncture wounds on a tiny multi-poo. Judge Judy immediately understands what that means.
Which suggests to me, with a small dog, that your dog had it in its mouth.
Like a toy.
Like a toy.
Yes.
Shaking it back and forth.
Yes.
Picture that for a moment. A German shepherd treating a living, breathing family pet like a chew toy. Shaking it violently, puncturing its abdomen multiple times. This isn't just a dog bite, this is a near-fatal mauling. Ryan's dog had to be rushed into emergency surgery, and when Judge Judy sees the vet bills, even she's taken aback.
How much was the total bill, the final balance?
$3,445.12.
Okay.
$3,445 for one night because someone couldn't control their dog. Judge Judy doesn't waste any time. She's heard enough.
You lost control of your dog. If you lose control of your dog and your dog causes injury, you have to pay for it. That's it. End of discussion. 34-45, judgment for the plaintiff. We're done.
Simple, direct, no excuses accepted. You lose control of your dog, you pay the price. Justice served. But we're not done yet. Because our second case, it's even more bizarre. Imagine this. You run a bounce house rental business, small family operation. You rent out a bounce house and 2 generators to a guy for a kid's party. Standard rental. He picks it up on October 3rd. He's supposed to return it on October 4th. Simple transaction, right? Except the bounce house never comes back. Not the next day. Not the next week. Never. And when you call the guy to ask where your $1,300 bounce house is, he gives you a story so wild, so confusing, so absolutely ridiculous that you end up in Judge Judy's courtroom. This is the case of the vanishing bounce house. Let's meet our players. Ms. Chamberlain runs a family bounce house business. She just took over management, and on October 3rd, she rents out the boxing ring boom bounce and 2 generators to the defendant. Should be straightforward.
Ms. Chamberlain, it is your claim that the defendant failed to return a bounce house
Yes.
that he had rented from you.
Yes.
The defendant says he returned it.
Well, I did. Well, I thought I returned the bounce to her, Your Honor. I thought I returned everything to her.
Just a second.
Okay, so he had 2 parties. He rented the bounce house for one of them, Earl's party. Got it. But then he goes on.
So at the end of the day, after I'm getting done, at the end of the day, I went and picked up everything. Everything. I picked up everything from the football organization party first. Then I went and I picked up the stuff from Earl's house from there. Picked everything up. And I drove there with a car full of stuff. Everything. It's nighttime. It's late. I've been late. I was coaching that day and everything. I went there and I took the stuff and I dropped everything off to the house. I thought I dropped everything off.
I thought I dropped everything off. Again with the I thought. Judge Judy stops him. Because she's confused. You have a car full of stuff. Not all of it is hers. So how do you know you gave her everything back? And then he drops this bombshell.
No. Yeah, a lot of it's not hers. Yeah, you're right. But when I checked the car again, I looked through everything and said, okay, all this stuff is there. There's only my stuff there. Now later what happened, she called me about 2 weeks later, or maybe even longer than that, and said, hey, listen, my bounce wasn't there. I said, oh, in the beginning I thought, oh man, this is a problem. It might be, they might be trying to scam me or something like that. I don't understand because this 2 weeks later, if I rent something from you that day, you call me 2 weeks later and say that your bounce is gone in 2 weeks later?
2 weeks later. She calls him 2 weeks later to say the bounce house is missing. And his reaction, he thinks she's trying to scam him, but then he decides to do his own investigation, and this is where the story becomes absolutely bonkers.
Then I said, okay, I'm gonna do an investigation myself to find out what's going on. So I called Mr. Shorter here. And I talked to him about the bounce. I wanted to know exactly what bounce was that I rented from her. Because I didn't know exactly which bounce that I did rent from her. And he told me, he said, the day I went to work, I saw the bounce sitting outside. When I came home from work, the bounce wasn't there. So then I called her and I said, listen, I think I found out, I texted her, matter of fact, I said, I know what happened. Mr. Shorter told me that the bounce was there in the morning when he was there, but when he came home from work, the bounce wasn't there, it was gone.
Let me get this straight. Earl saw the bounce house in the morning. Then when he came home from work, it was gone. So the bounce house just walked away, vanished into thin air. Judge Judy is trying not to laugh at this point. The defendant thinks he's got a solid defense. He's explaining about Earl seeing it, then not seeing it, and how he texted Ms. Chamberlain about the whole thing. But Judge Judy, she's done.
How much is a replacement house?
The replacement house for the bounce now is $1,305. I'm looking at the previous receipt. We paid $1,395, not $1,350. This is the updated version from the company. How much?
Tell you what you want. You want
Her
4,000.
bounce not
I
worth
want you to
4,000.
be quiet. You're not getting $4,900.
Oh yeah, forgot to mention, Ms. Chamberlain was suing for nearly $5,000. She wanted the bounce house replacement plus all the rental income she lost while it was missing. Judge Judy shuts that down immediately.
You're getting a brand new bounce house for one that's 6 years old, $1,305. Now, put your hand down. I don't care what happened to her property. She didn't get it back. I don't care you spoke to him, it was outside, then it was inside, then he saw it, then he didn't see it, it was late at night, you picked up all the stuff, you came. Do you understand?
This is peak Judge Judy. She doesn't care about the elaborate story. She doesn't care about Earl. She doesn't care about the football party or the coaching or the nighttime confusion. Bottom line, you rented something. You didn't return it. You pay for it.
Can I say one thing, Your Honor?
No.
Listen.
No, I'm old. I listened to you. I listened to you with all the stories. You returned it, and then you called him, and then maybe you didn't return it because it was there, and then it wasn't there, and then it walked away. $1,305.
Wait, Your Honor, what about my counterclaim? Can I
That's
talk about my
all.
counterclaim?
And that's justice, folks. 2 cases, 2 very different situations, but the same outcome. In the first case, you lose control of your dog, you pay for the damage. No excuses. $3,445. In the second case, you lose someone's property, you replace it. No matter how many stories you tell, $1,305. Judge Judy doesn't have time for excuses. She doesn't have patience for elaborate explanations. She looks at the facts, applies the law, and delivers justice. Simple as that. This is Justice and Verdict. If you want more cases like this, hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment on which case you think was crazier, and I'll see you in the next one. Justice doesn't wait, and neither should you.